Hello everyone, Positive here, making a video about episode 3 of season 5 of The Masked Singer. I almost said season 3. Anyway, episode 3, season season 5. Oh my word. Anyway, I got up too early this morning. But yeah. So I realized that I made a couple of errors in the video that I made last. I had come to believe that all of the wild card characters were going to be revealed on episode 3, which is not true. So the way they're doing it is like the group A ones performed again today, and since one of them had been eliminated, they introduced one of the wild card characters. And I was telling my son about it yesterday, and I said, in my opinion, that's not fair to the people who have been performing since the start, because especially like the Orca was introduced on this episode as a wild card character. So he didn't have to compete and possibly be eliminated on the first episode. See what I'm saying? And then the one that's going to be introduced the next time that Group A performs won't have had to compete and possibly be eliminated on 2 different episodes. So, yeah. So, as always, I will reveal, pardon me, my breakfast is trying to come back. Anyway, I will reveal who was revealed on this episode at the end of the video, not right now. So, before I get started, everybody make sure that you subscribe to my videos, hit the like button. If you have a comment that you would like to leave about anything that I say, like if I mess up like I did on the video that I was making last night and say that something's going to happen that you know is not going to happen, or that something did happen that actually didn't happen. As I said, I got up way too early this morning. I am not a morning person. I'm trying to become one because one of my sons is now working in the morning and I am his ride to work, so I have to be up for him to go to work. So, yes, I'm trying to become more of a morning person, and so far it's not going too bad, except for the fact that I feel like I'm super tired all day because I'm not used to being awake that early. Most of the time have been doing a pretty good job about going to bed earlier. Last night, I went to sleep before 10 p.m. So, yeah, I'm one of those people that prefers to stay awake until like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, get up around 11 a.m. and noon, something like that. It's just the way I've always been. So, episode 3 of season 5 of The Masked Singer. I did not write down the songs that all of them performed, and whenever the person was revealed, instead of having him sing to the song he performed this week, they had him sing to the one that he performed last week. So now y'all know that it wasn't Seashell, right? Is Seashell the only female one on this? I believe she is. So the ones that performed were Racoon, Robopine, Seashell, and Orca. Did I skip somebody? Oh, wait. Russian dolls. I am so sorry. I was going to just totally skip them. Can't skip Russian dolls. Anyway, so the ones that performed on episode 3, which we still have 5 people for because of the way they're doing it, was Russian dolls, who I think I might have a handle on who is, but I'm not sure. And Racoon, Robopine, Baseball, and Orca. So, yes, there were still 5 of them. I was going, seems like there was someone else. Okay. Anyway, the first ones that performed were actually Russian dolls, so of course I'm going to start with them. And the person that was talking when they were doing the clues this time was a guy. There were 2 different guys actually talking, and I was still pretty sure that one of the people was a female. So I was like, watching the clues and going, okay, So it was a female that was given the clues last week, and it's two guys that are given the clues this week. So it's a group that has two guys and a girl. The groups that I looked up, especially based on the clues that I saw, none of them had two guys and two girls. One of them had two girls and two guys. But anyway, the clues for Russian dolls that I caught for this week are, I don't know why I wrote clues down next. Oh, guy clues. That's what I wrote. Anyway, it showed the solar system or the planets. And as it was showing them, he said, we haven't always seen eye to eye or been in agreement or something along that line. They showed a banjo, which one of the judges pointed out had 3 strings on it. I think that might have been Robin that pointed that out. And that just reminded me. No, the group is called Fifth Harmony. I was about to say, isn't there a group called Third Harmony? But it's Fifth Harmony. Anyway, I haven't looked into them yet. And I also didn't look into this. They kept showing a crib and baby toys. And, ow. Oh, good grief. Felt like something bit me. Anyway, yeah, they kept showing a crib and baby toys, which, in my opinion, might indicate that they have known each other their entire lives. Now, a lot of people online apparently have been guessing that Russian dolls are the group Hanson. I don't know that much about Hanson, so I don't know. Could be. And another one that the people seem to really like when the judges were guessing was that it's part of the Jacksons. And I was like, I don't know. And the judges and Nisi keep implying that there could possibly still be more people to come out of it. And it just occurred to me that the Russian dolls are the ones that had the New Jersey, or like the Garden State Highway thing, which is in New Jersey. So, yeah. I don't know. I didn't really look into where the people I was looking up are from, and I don't know why I am so freaking itchy right now. Other than that cedar pollen is still high. Anyway, yes, okay, so they haven't always seen eye to eye. There were the planets, the banjo with 3 strings, the crib with all of the little kid toys, and he said that he was rushed to the hospital, and basically he indicated that he was rushed to the hospital in an emergency, and that caused them to become closer than they had been. And of course, they showed a fire truck when they were talking about him being rushed to the hospital. There was a big sign that said "Help," and he said the trauma brought them together. I wrote down that there were 2 guys doing the clues this week, which I think I already mentioned. And then, of course, I wrote down that Robin, I'm pretty sure it was, said the banjo had 3 strings. And so the first group that I looked into, which some of the judges mentioned that they thought it might have been this group. I think this is who... I think this is who Jenny guessed, which was Lady Antebellum. I can't remember now. There was somebody I was thinking before them, which was the group that has 2 guys and 2 girls. My brain's not going to think of it. Little Big Town. Little Big Town was who I thought of from hearing them sing. I was like, kind of sounds like Little Big Town to me, and they have at least 1 girl in their group and a couple of guys. So like I say, I looked it up and it was 2 girls and 2 guys. And I was like, well, it's probably not Little Big Town then, unless another one's going to come out next week. Never can tell. If it does, I'll be like, oh, it's Little Big Town. But anyway, that being said, Lady Antebellum has 1 female, 2 guys. I did not write her name down. The guys are Dave Haywood and Charles Kelly. I was going to look up whether or not either of them had been in the hospital. I tried looking up them as a group to see if any of them had been rushed to the hospital, and all it kept bringing up was stuff about them raising money for St. Jude's because one of them's child was in the hospital and St. Jude's took care of them or something along that line. Anyway, I couldn't find anything about any of the members of Lady Antebellum being rushed to the hospital. Then I got to thinking they had them do, it was talking about how they see themselves. So they had what they were calling self-portraits for the characters this week. Sorry about that. And the one for Russian Dolls was kind of an Andy Warhol type thing that had a bunch of different cars with a person in them that was a different, like the car was a different color, and so was the person in each deal. And so I just kept going back to that being that they saw themselves as cars. And I was like, why would they see themselves as cars, or they see themselves as drivers? Like, what in the world? And then I went, wait, cars. Rascal Flatts. Rascal Flatts, in case you don't know, but you probably do, sings the theme song for the Cars movie. Life is a highway, I'm gonna ride it all night long. You know that song. They sing that. There are 3 members. None of them is a female. But sometimes when they talk, one of them's voice is, I want to say it's the blonde who does the, I think he's like the main singer. And sometimes when he talks, his voice is pretty high, especially if he gets excited. So, for right now, for Russian Dolls, I'm going with Rascal Flatts. So, yeah, that's just my guess for right now. And I still did not get as many clues written down for Racoon as I did for, I think, most of the others from Group A. I'm not sure why. But what I did get for Racoon is that he said he's glad to be on the big stages. He started out as a fighter. They showed a box of coffee. And again, they showed the train. He said he became a leading man after training actors. He was raised to box. And I'm sitting there going, I've heard this story. There's someone that I'm a big fan of that I have seen talk about the fact that he started out as a boxer and was training actors to box, and they asked him to be in a movie. But I can't remember for the life of me who it is. I'm going, I don't feel like it's Sylvester Stallone, and I think that I would recognize his voice when he was singing. And I'm like, maybe it's Dustin Hoffman, but I don't know that Dustin Hoffman ever did fighting. The way he acted made me think a lot of Gary Busey. He definitely had a great sense of humor. And the thing for how he sees himself had bats and stars on it, which now makes sense to me. Oh my God, I just got that. I was like, I can't believe that they didn't reference a certain movie, and I just realized that they did. Anyway, but one of the judges, I can't recall for sure, I think it might have been Jenny McCarthy, mentioned Tony Danza. And I was like, I like that. I like that guess. Like I was saying last night, you can't persuade me to go another way on these people. I liked the Tony Danza one, so I went with it. And then as I was listening to him talk, whenever they told that he got revealed, I was like, maybe, I can't remember. Anyway, I was listening to him talk. And I was like, it could possibly be Dustin Hoffman. I feel like it possibly is. I just realized that I left out something about the Russian Dolls thing. But anyway, so I was like, yeah, maybe it is Tony Danza. Maybe it's Dustin Hoffman. I was kind of back and forth between the two. But I was like, I guess my final guess is going to be Tony Danza. Just because I can't think of who it is that I've heard tell that story, you know. Pretty sure it wasn't Dustin Hoffman, though. Maybe it was Tony Danza. So I had written in my notes for Russian Doll concerning the rush to the hospital in an emergency and trauma type thing. Um, there are two different possibilities for Rascal Flatts on that. Okay, the first one was the singer Jay DeMarcus. Um, one time after they had done a show, I believe it was going through a heavy metal door, and the door, it was an automatic opening and closing door, and it started closing as he was going through it, even though he was still there, and it smashed part of his foot and pulled his, I almost said pulled his big toe, oh, almost all the way off. That'd be awful. It almost pulled his big toenail all the way off his foot. And the site that I went to had a picture of it. It looked terribly awful. It was like all covered in blood and everything. So, though a lot of people might not consider that to be a huge traumatic emergency, for him and probably for the rest of the band, it was a pretty big deal. But also, when I was looking up stuff about them and whether any of them had gone to the hospital, I discovered that they were supposed to perform at the CMAs this year. I believe it was the CMAs. And they were unable to do so. That's the CMAs 20. Actually, I was going to say 2021. It might have been 2020. Anyway, one of the CMA award things they were supposed to perform at, and they were unable to do so because one of them was rushed to the hospital with symptoms of COVID-19. So that's another, being rushed to the hospital. Now, them not always seeing eye to eye and the crib thing, I mean, I'm sure they all have kids, but the two of them being next to the crib together and stuff kind of made me think maybe they were brothers or family or something. And I don't know. For all I know, the guys that are in Rascal Flatts are brothers. I don't know for sure. They have different last names though, so I really doubt it. Anyway, sorry, I forgot to mention that part whenever I was initially talking about the Russian dolls. And the next one to perform was Robopine, who is definitely one of my favorites. And there's one of the parts that I'm really trying to figure out. I'm trying to really use this one part of his clues from this week, which was his self-image thing, to help me try and figure out who exactly he is. Because, oh my gosh, okay, I don't think he's that big, but I will tell you who just came to mind here in a second. But hang on, I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. You can see me at the edge of my head. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Anyway, sorry. I'm just writing this down with my lovely green pen here, which does not look green at all on there. But anyway, okay, so yeah, I just wrote that down so that I don't forget to mention it, hopefully. I did leave a little bit of extra room by some of them for if I have a thought on who I think they might be after I've already finished writing my clues down. And a couple of them I was doing the research, like the Russian dolls one about the hospital thing, so I made sure I left a couple of lines on that one for definite sure, so I could write stuff down. So anyhow, Robopine said that he's been in a funk lately, meaning that he feels like his career is not going that well lately. They showed a timer. It was like on a drum, I think, if I remember right. It was like an hourglass. He mentioned, I swear he said that he grew up in Costa Rica. I rewatched that part a couple of different times, and I kept being like, what did he say about Costa Rica? But I thought that he said he grew up in Costa Rica, and none of the people that I am considering for Robopine grew up in Costa Rica, except maybe the person that I just thought of, based on how he sees himself thing and something that he said about it. But I'm not sure if that person grew up in Costa Rica or not. If any of you guys know, make sure and let me know once I tell you who that person is at the end of the clues here. So yes, he mentioned Costa Rica. They showed a lightning bolt, which lays that's the Shazam lightning bolt type thing was what it showed. Um, he mentioned cops and that he has great respect for police and he credits them for him doing what he does. I think because the police helped him and he feels that him acting helps other people. Some people don't see it that way, but I'm like, I mean, they're entertaining. It's like whenever the whole COVID thing was going down, and they're like, a lot of people were like, but celebrities like acting and whatnot, and the other is not. That's not an essential job. I don't even know why they would be trying to go ahead and film that sort of stuff and do that stuff. And I'm like, I mean, they entertain us. You're locked at home in quarantine. What are you going to watch if there's not celebrities making TV shows, movies, and recording music? It's like, what are you going to do in quarantine without those people to entertain you? And athletes, people are like, why do they get paid so much when they're not really doing anything? Because they get injured a lot, they have a lot of medical bills. They could possibly die playing the sport that they play. And we watch them because it's entertaining. That's why they do it, and that's why they get paid what they get paid, most of them. Anyway, so whenever he was talking about Costa Rica, it showed some construction workers, which led me to believe that perhaps his family there were construction workers, but he said something about him being over. It was like indicating to me that he was over construction workers when he lived in Costa Rica. I could have that all wrong. And like I said, for some reason, probably because I got up around 5 o'clock this morning and I'm a person who prefers to sleep until like 11 or noon, my brain wasn't grasping what they were saying about the Costa Rica part. So if y'all caught it, let me know what they said, what it was exactly that they said. Okay. Anyway, and okay, so like for the how he sees himself thing, it had a guitar and there were some stars in the background. Well, it showed him playing an electric guitar and there were like some stars in the background. So I wrote down that he sees himself as a rock star. And then what he said that got me thinking about who I got thinking about was that he has always, there was like a spider, I want to say it was on his, like the bottom of the shirt that he was wearing in the painting. Might have been on the pants. I can't remember for sure. But when he was asked about the spider on there, he said that he's always feared them. So he began to wear them to help him overcome his fear of them. Okay? I was going, there is someone I'm a fan of that has like, they paint spiders on with makeup. They wear spider rings. They have spiders on their clothes. I think he even has a spider tattoo. Can't think of for the life of me who it was. I went back to Steven Seagal as my answer because this guy is big. He's tall. He's broad-shouldered. He's broad-shouldered. To me, he's built like Steven Seagal, basically. So I was like, it must be Steven Seagal. I mean, I don't see him playing a guitar. He probably does. I don't know for sure. He does a lot of stuff. But I was like, the spider thing, I'm like, I kept looking at it after he said that and like looking at where it was on the clothes and going, there's somebody that I know, which it could be a lot of different people, I think, but who just came to mind a while ago when I was trying to think of, oh, Alexa, turn off alarm. I was like, what is that? Anyway, the person who came to mind a while ago whenever I was trying to think of the spider thing was Marilyn Manson. He has the white contacts that he wears a lot of the time, like the zombie eye contacts that make his eye look white with like just the people in the center. And I want to say that at one point he even had some contacts that had spiders on them. I'm almost certain that he has spider tattoos. And yeah, so I was like, I feel like maybe perhaps it's Marilyn Manson. Another person that just now came to mind is Dave Navarro, but I don't feel like either of them are as broad chested and broad shouldered as Robopine is. But I'm going to write Dave Navarro down here too, so I can look into them and see. Um, Dave Navarro, I think, I'm going to spell his last name wrong for one thing, but Dave Navarro, I think, was born in California, but I could be wrong, and I'm almost certain that Marilyn Manson is from Arizona, but I could be wrong. Anyway, so whenever the next person started performing, and like I said, I didn't write down what songs most of them sang. Yeah, I didn't do what Russian Doll sang or Racoon. I think Seashell was the first one that I wrote down the song that she sang. But anyway, um, so yeah, I was so excited when they started showing the clues about Seashell that I forgot originally to write down who I was writing the clues about. And I was like, oh yeah, I better write down that this is about Seashell, or I'm just going to think that it's about Robopine, and I'm going to be like, huh? Robopine is dating a baseball player? But anyway, yeah, that's the first thing they showed, was she was talking about how well, it's not the first thing, it's the first thing I really noticed. But anyway, how a baseball player came into her life and really changed her life around. There was a stopwatch that had like 2 minutes on it, which had me thinking she probably does like some exercise routines, short, fast exercise routines. They showed a cat. They also showed a dog, which was like a poodle. There was a wide variety of plants, and she was like misting them with some spray. And in the plants, there was a heart, and it was also showing like the baseball player guy again and how he's been there for her to support her. And I was thinking, she had shown a chameleon in her clues on the first episode. So I was thinking that maybe she's dating Chameleon, and perhaps Chameleon is a baseball player. And then I was thinking about Chameleon's clues, and I was like, no, she might be related to Chameleon or have some sort of connection to Chameleon, but I don't think that's the person that she's dating or perhaps married to. Actually, given who I think this is, the sad truth of it is she's not dating that person anymore. And that's super sad to me. But anyway, or as far as I know, they broke up. I was looking on the internet a while ago, and I didn't see anything about that they had broke up. But I swear that I saw something back in February around Valentine's Day, unfortunately, saying that they had split up. So she said the majority of her life she felt tiny, being alone, and that her being alone was scary. So that kind of implied to me that perhaps she had usually had someone in her life, and she might have had a big family. I don't know for sure. It showed eggs, milk, a crayon, and above the eggs and milk and crayon was I want to say a loaf of bread. I think it was like a basket of rolls, which indicated to me that she's a baker. And she said that she's worn many hats on the first episode that we saw. There was a lamp, and I wrote down mist because she was misting the flowers, and I thought maybe that is important. The song that she performed to was Confident by Demi Lovato, which is not by any means a easy song. And oh yeah, there was a set of weights also that was in her clues. And on the thing about how she sees herself, there was the painting had a tornado. Oh yeah, it had a tornado, weights, and a bowl of food, referencing that she probably has something to do with cooking, which I didn't really look into for any of these people. And she said about the deal that has the tornado and the weights and the food thing, she said that she sees herself as a superhero. So, largely because of the tornado thing, and a song that she has called Twister. Um, and initially, I wrote down Carrie Underwood, and then I was thinking about some of the other clues, and I'm like, well, okay, I don't know who Carrie Underwood is dating or married to or whatever, but I don't feel like a lot of the clues probably line up with her. And then I was like, well, when I saw the baseball player thing, I was like, J Lo. Let me look at kind of how Seashell's built and stuff the best that I can to see if maybe I can tell if I think that she possibly is built like J Lo. And I was like, yeah, I think she's pretty much built like J Lo, so that's probably who it is. Um, pardon me. And J Lo is the one that I am going with for my final answer as of right now for Seashell. I was like, she was dating Alex Rodriguez. They said that this was filmed probably at least about a month ago. So if they broke up in February, they would have still been going out. Well, if they broke up on Valentine's Day, they might not have been still going out at this point, but whenever she formulated her clues for the show, they probably were. See what I'm saying? And the thing about them breaking up may not have even been true. I know they were planning to get married. Something that I saw said they were planning to get married in January of 2019, but they had to cancel the ceremony because of COVID-19. And I was like, that would have been 2020. COVID-19 wasn't around in January of 2019. But okay. I just saw something down there and was like, what? And then probably Izzy. She's like, what are you doing talking to yourself? Pretty sure both the dogs went back to sleep though. They're like, it's too early. So anyway, now I don't remember if I've mentioned, I also thought of Jessica Simpson. Can't remember, there was something other than just the baseball player thing. She also dated Alex Rodriguez, and she dated, my brain almost said Tony Romo, the Golden Arm, Tom Brady. Isn't that right? I think it is. I think she dated Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure he's the one that when they ask her, no, it was Tony Romo. They ask him why she wasn't seen at games with him, and he said it's a known fact that whenever a girlfriend that he was dating attended the games, he tended to play worse. I think it was Tony Romo. I could be wrong about that, but I'm almost sure it was now. But yeah, there was something in the clues. Well, actually, I don't know that Jessica Simpson could cook because she didn't know that chicken of the sea was tuna instead of chicken. But anyway, yeah, I don't remember. There was something in the clues anyway that made me think of Jessica Simpson specifically. And then I was like, no, I feel like it would probably be more likely to be J Lo than Jessica Simpson. My personal opinion. So the new character was Orca. This video is turning out to be way longer than I intended it to. Sorry about that. That tends to happen with me because I am a chatty Cathy. Anyway, the older I get, the more chatty it seems I get. Anyway, the new character was Orca. Orca opened with a pie shop that was a pizza shop. There were prices of $9, $4, and $9. And I thought maybe the 949 has something to do with something. I don't know, maybe an area code or something. But it also showed flowers. He mentioned a punchline. He said he hid his audition tapes in pizza boxes. I'm going, I know that story too. Couldn't tell you where I've heard the story, but I have heard somebody say that they did that. And there was a picture of a yacht. He delivered pizzas because he hid the tapes in the pizzas that he was delivering around town. When he was 24, he had a goal of being a big star, but had not yet became a big star, and said that his dad told him if he hadn't made big waves by the time he was 25, he should find something else to do. There was a clock that stopped at 2:59, and he mentioned the 11th hour, He said something about making waves. There was a picture of a seagull, possibly a sea hawk. I've only got one guess for this person, and I'm pretty sure that it's right. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right. There was some gummy candy in a bowl. I had to back up and see what kind of fish. Had to back up and see what kind of fish the bird was, and see what kind of bird the bird was. If it was a sea eagle, seagull, and I'm pretty sure that it was a sea eagle. But like I said, it could have been a sea hawk. I wrote down seagull, which I don't know why I wrote down, because that's totally not what it was. But yeah, and had to back up and see what was in the bowl. I was like, what is that? What is that? What is that? And I was like, oh, it's gummy candy of some kind. So anyway, the song that he sang is what I recommended for our class song, when people kept being like, you're in band, you listen to music a lot. What song do you think that we should have as our class song? And I was like, you're not going to want it to be our class song. And they kept insisting. I was like, okay, we're not going to take it by Twisted Sister. Yeah, needlessly enough to say, it didn't turn out to be our class song. Anyway, they played the wrong song anyway. They played Saturday in the Park instead of the one that was supposed to be it. But anyway, so yeah, he performed We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister. See, I woke Izzy up. She wasn't in here. She was in the living room laying in the boys' bed. Anyway, and as for how he sees himself, that part, it was graffiti painting, and part of it was him standing on a board over a wave, which of course implies surfing, which there's a lot of actors who surf. They don't do it professionally, and the making big waves could either be referencing when he's surfing or when he's acting. I took it to be when he's acting, but he is a surfer, right? And the other person I know of that surfs a whole lot, which is Zac Efron, was already a big actor. He was a big thing before he became 24. So, but anyway, when they made a comment about it, he said he always gets the biggest wave because nobody snakes him. Nobody snakes Orca. And so I was listening to the way that he was talking, and he didn't say, I always get the biggest wave, nobody snakes Orca. What he said was, I always get the biggest wave, nobody snakes Orca. And I went, Owen Wilson. It's Owen Wilson. I almost guarantee you, it is Owen Wilson. So, okay. Who got revealed on episode 3 of The Masked Singer? You probably already know, but as a lot of people thought it probably would turn out to be, it did turn out to be Racoon. He's definitely not a singer, but he was very, very entertaining and very comical. Now, as for the Bats and Stars, and why I am disappointed that I did not realize what that was in reference to. Okay, the person that was under the mask of Racoon was Danny Trejo. Me and my kids used to refer to him as the Mexican that's in everything that you watch. But yes, the movies that I recall him for the most are the Dusk Till Dawn movies. And I thought to myself after they revealed him, why was there nothing in there about the Dusk Till Dawn movies? Yeah, Stars, Dusk, and the Bats. If you've seen Dusk Till Dawn, I believe it's the first movie. They're in the place where the roadhouse where all of the vampires go to hang out at night, and I'm pretty sure it's that one. And something happens that I cannot right now recall what is, because it's been a while since I've seen it. Someone opens a door or something. Anyway, a whole bunch of bats come flying out because, they're vampires and vampire bats. But yeah, a whole bunch of bats come flying out. And I was like, oh, like just when I was sitting there looking over the thing, what it said, how it said he sees himself, and there were bats and stars. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I took that to mean that he saw himself as a star who was also batty. And I was like, no, that's totally referencing Dusk Till Dawn, the Dusk Till Dawn movies. And I was like wondering why there was nothing in there about that. But yeah, that was totally what it was referencing. And or perhaps it wasn't, but it totally makes sense to me that that would be what it was referencing. Anyhow, I may take a nap. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video before my son came home from work, because I don't like filming whenever they're here, because a lot of times they don't know that I'm filming. I used to make my videos about The Masked Singer when I was at home, and my oldest son got to where he was afraid to come in my room if he heard me talking, like might be I was talking to the dogs or something, because I do that. But he would be like, I wasn't sure if I should come in your room or not, because I thought maybe you were making a video. So I told him I've got to where I try not to do that. Since my other son donates, I make a lot of the videos I make while he's donating plasma. It's a good cause. Anyone that needs extra money for anything, generally you do get paid some for donating plasma. There are weight restrictions. You have to weigh a certain amount to be able to donate, and of course you have to be healthy. But anyway, I guess that I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. I will try to catch a video of Damon later for those of you who are following Damon's IVDD progress, just so you can see that he is still doing well and getting around well. And I guess I can't think of anything else that I need to say or have to say. I've talked about everything from The Masked Singer new episode. So everyone have a good, whatever time of day or night it is in your part of the world. Stay positive and stay safe out there. Keep watching my videos, subscribe, like, comment if you wish, and you will see me next time.